I went from this
Good, good, good,
to this.
good, good. You're so good, good, good.
And the song that I'll be demonstrating today is called Good. While I'm still working on my lower register, I have found a workaround to help me bring those beautiful harmonies into my music. And while still some of y'all are still streaming my music, I found a workaround. Here's how. The most simple way for me to hack singing lower is in two parts. First, adding a pitch shifter and then an EQ where I cut off all the high end, a little bit of the low end, but keep a good majority of the mid. For example here, in verse 1, I duplicated my main verse. Again, no changes here.
You and me, I can see it. I know this has to be the real thing. I can feel it.
Nothing different. The first thing that I add is a pitch shift. That's a word. The first thing that I add is the pitch shifter plugin here. I increase the sense to 7. I mix it 100% because I do not want it to sound like my original vocal. I increase the mix to 100% because when I go ahead and lower the semitones here of the pitch shifter, I want it to sound completely lower. I don't want it to be half my voice and half the lowered artificial voice. So for example, if I were not to increase the mix, it would sound something like this, where it's both my original voice and the lower voice, which kind of defeats the purpose if I already have an original verse vocal already. So I'm going to set that up all the way to 100, and it gives me this.
It's just this energy between you and me. I can see it.
I know, it sounds kind of creepy, but stay with me. The next thing and the last thing I do in this most simple way of adding a lower part to my verses, to my choruses, is to add an EQ, where I said I remove a lot of the top end, a little bit of the low end, but I'm really wanting to keeping this mid pocket open. And here's what it sounds like with this on top.
I know this has to be the real thing. I can feel it.
I like how it brings out the boominess in this lower artificial voice, and it adds so much to my original vocal. So this plus my original voice brings me to here.
It's just this energy between you and me. I can see it. I know this has to be the real thing.
And with the music, it really helps my vocal stand out.
I can feel it in how you look at me, in how you see me. You're for mine.
Seeing the different parts for the chorus wasn't bad. I mean, we start with the regular vocal here.
Good, good, good.
So how I did that was by duplicating the main melody for the chorus right here.
Good.
Only thing here is I did not add an EQ to keep the mid section alive. I actually wanted all of the different parts of the EQ to not be hindered in any way, just because I really needed support here in my chorus. And let's listen to that with the lower harmonies.
Good, 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 good.
It's not perfect, but it's able to hide and also fill in the parts where I'm having to whisper and stretch for the note. And with the main melody, here's what we have.
Good, good, you're so good, good, good.
You almost can't hear the pitch down vocal, the artificial sound that is helping to fill in the melody and the lower harmonies, and that's the point. I really want it to blend in and not stand out, but just fill in where I can't literally sing fully those low notes. So with the music, it even blends in better.
Good,
That is the easiest and one of the main ways I add lower harmonies when it comes to adding multiple voices and vocals to my songs. And this, again, you can copy. Again, it is adding a pitch shifter, turning the mix to 100% and the sense up to 7, and the semitones down to -12, and then adding an EQ. This you can play around to personal preference, but I remove a lot of the high end, a little bit of the low end, and then keep a lot of the mid open for it to sound good. And this is just a part of the full process of creating a song. There's so much more here.